doing today? It's Tasia, your intuitive soul coach, and today we're going to be talking about dealing with chronic illness and still reaching your goals and staying positive. And yeah, I know that sounds like a big ask, but let's get to it. Okay, so chronic illness. It's for the birds. Believe me, I know. I personally myself deal with a chronic illness, and right now I'm actually in a flare up. I don't even know if you would call it a flare up, but I don't have another word for it. I don't have another word for it. I deal with chronic kidney disease. I'm actually going to be needing a kidney transplant here soon. And so, a lot of times I deal with fatigue. I deal with swelling, like severe swelling in my legs to the point where it can hurt to walk. I deal with like fuzzy brain where it's very hard for me to think and focus sometimes. And this can be very hard when you're trying to live your life, when you're trying to be positive, and when you're trying to run a business. So I get it. And I know you're probably like, you don't know nothing about it. I know about it. I understand exactly what you're going through. It can be very hard, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And what I often tell people, and what I have to tell myself, because I go into modes where I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I go into modes where I'm down on myself because I feel like, oh, there's so many things that I want to do. There's so many things that I want to accomplish, but I can't because of this chronic illness, and I feel like I'm failing. Drop a like or a comment below if you felt that way before. I'm sure you have, if you've ever dealt with this. But I have to remember, I can only do so much. That's it. I can only do so much. And I have to listen to my body and what it needs in every single moment. If you have chronic illness or you're healthy, you have to listen to your body and what it needs in every single moment. If you need to take the nap, take the nap. If you need to take the day off, take the day off. The work, the things, whatever will be there tomorrow. Allow yourself the grace and the time to rest, to recoup, to come back to center. You were allowed that. We're allowed that, okay? There are times when I don't even want to get out of bed. I'm so tired. And on those days, I allow myself to stay in bed. And sometimes an hour later, I feel better and I can get up and I can do the work. Sometimes I got to take the whole day, and that is what it is. But don't judge yourself because you need that time. And I really wanted to start with that because I think a lot of us with chronic illness feel like we're not doing enough. You are doing what you can do, and you are doing more than enough because you are still moving forward toward your goal, toward your happiness, even though you're dealing with this, whatever this is, okay? So be gentle with yourself, be proud of yourself, because if you're watching this video, that means you're motivated for better. If you're watching this video, that means that you want more and you're willing to do the work even though you have this chronic illness, even though you're sick, even though you might be tired, even though you might not feel like it. So I applaud you. Oh my gosh, I applaud you. And you should applaud yourself and be proud of yourself first and foremost. Okay, now that I've got the motivational speech out of the way, let's move into the practical. Okay, so with chronic illness, I know sometimes we can have flare-ups. Sometimes it's just like stuff hits you out of nowhere. But for a lot of us, we know that there are certain times of day, or we know that there are certain times of the week or whatever that we feel better or worse. That we feel better or worse. Like, that's just the best way to put it. So like for me, mornings are not awesome for me, but like afternoon and nights, I tend to do better. So during that day, during like the morning, I know it's probably not best for me to schedule clients. I know it's probably not best for me to do videos. Um, that, morning might be a good time for me to just allow my body to rest, to make myself some nourishing food, to relax. And then when afternoon comes, then I am recouped and I am revitalized, or I'm at least feeling a little better and well enough to do what needs to be doing. So for like a week or 2 weeks or a month or however long it takes for you, kind of track when you feel best, when you feel your worst, and when you just know there's no way in HE double hockey sticks you're doing anything. And for a lot of people, like I said, with chronic illness, there are certain times of day when you feel better and there are certain times you feel worse. Now, if you're one of those people where stuff just hits you, then you kind of got to go with your own flow. And so when you're feeling good, maybe you try to get as much done as you can get done. And when you're having a bad day, just allow yourself that rest. But if maybe you're like me and the other people, I'm sure, just kind of track the times when you feel better and when you know this is probably not going to be the time that I need to schedule to do the things. Or if you know, like the beginning of the week, I feel better, but towards the end of the week after I've worked for 4 days, 5 days in a row, however you do it, I'm not as productive, then maybe you do at the beginning of your week the heavier lifting things, and at the end of the week you leave the lighter things that are, maybe you don't need as much energy to do. All right, okay, so tip one for me is be aware of your energy levels throughout your day. Be aware of when you feel better, when you feel worse, okay? So it's really, 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 really going to help you to be more productive and get more done of what you want to get done. Okay. Tip 2 for having chronic illness and still reaching your goals is have a clear plan of action. Have a clear plan of action. I know for a really long time I was flying by the seat of my pants. I was just like, oh, I guess I'll do this now. Oh, I guess I'll do this now. But if you have a clear plan of action, there's no thought involved. So you know exactly what you need to get done and when you need to get it done. And like I said, this goes back to step 1 of being very aware of when your ups and down times are as far as how you're feeling in your body and physically, okay, and mentally as well. So have a clear plan of action. Like I know from like 9 to 12, I'm probably not going to get a lot of work done. So 12 o'clock, I know I need to record videos for YouTube or videos for the course that I'm creating. I know from, 2 to 4, I can do client calls because I know I'm at my peak energy level from 2 to 4, and from 4 to 6, I can be prospecting for new clients but you get what I'm saying. Have set times, have set goals in place. Not to say these things can't be tweaked or moved, but when you have a general idea of what you're doing and the steps you're taking, it's easier, especially when you have days when you're not feeling that great. You can know like, okay, well, I might not be able to do this today. This might need to be moved to tomorrow. But these steps right here, this I can do because it doesn't require as much energy for me. And you have like you have a blueprint. You have a skeleton for your day. And that really helps when you have chronic illness because it just allows you that little bit of extra freedom to not have to expend extra energy trying to figure things out and invent the wheel. Have the wheel already invented and done. Have your systems in place. And that comes to my step 3. Step 3? Yeah. Step 3, tip 3. Create systems. Create systems for yourself. These are really going to help you because this is going to help you to, I'm going to almost say autopilot your business, autopilot your goals, whatever your goal is, if it's fitness, if it's whatever. Have systems in place, and systems are really just plans of action that you can do on repeat. So for me, I have systems in place where I have set days where I record videos, or and I have a system of how the recording process goes. I have systems for my food, of when I cook and prep and things like that, so it's done and ready. Like, have systems in place for yourself. This is so going to help you. So when you are having an off day, again, the system is there for you. All right? It's for you to fall back on. It's like you already know exactly what to do. You don't have to think about it, because this is something you set up that you know works. It's done. It's handled. Okay, so step 3 is to have systems. Systems are going to help you in everything that you do. Okay. So step 4, okay, is change your mindset. Change your mindset. Release. And what I mean by is change your perception of your disease, of your illness. And believe me, this is something that was, and sometimes still is, a struggle for me. But it's necessary. Okay? Because and this probably should really be step 1, honestly, but if you're constantly, and like I said, this is something that I still struggle with. There's still days where I'm just like, where I just feel like crap about my body, because I feel like it's like you've completely betrayed me. You're supposed to, so change your mindset and your perception about your illness. Okay? So it sucks. Oh my gosh, it sucks. It sucks to have the nausea or whatever your symptoms are. But realize you going through this might help someone else, because you understand where they're coming from. I can honestly say, had I not gone through this journey of chronic kidney disease, there's a lot of clients that I probably could not have related to, because I would not have understood the struggle that they went through. So this has actually helped me a lot to be a resource for people. By sharing my story, it's allowed them to share theirs. By sharing my story, it's allowed them to be more comfortable with what they're going through and the processes that they've had to go through to get to a good place, or a better place than they were. So change your perception. And I have to tell my body every day, thank you so much for supporting me. I know right now that we're going through a struggle together, but I thank you so much for still being here for me, because I know you could just completely shut down and decide, no, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm grateful for you for still being here to support me and allowing me to do the things that I want to do. So change your perception of your illness. Allow it to be a blessing. And I know you're like, lupus is not a blessing. Sickle cell is not a blessing. Kidney disease is not a blessing. But it can be. And I'm not going to say it's not a struggle. I'm not going to say it doesn't suck. I'm not going to say that there are not days where you're just going to feel like, what the French toast. You are. You are. It's a given. I'm sorry. You are. But if you come back and you say, you know what? I've gone through this. I felt this. But look how strong I am, because a lot of people could not deal with what I deal with and still function every day. A lot of people could not do what I do and still be the bad bitch that I am. So change your perception to, this illness has shown me my strength. This illness has shown me what I can do with so little. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, you've got the healthiest people in the world and they're not doing anything with themselves. But you, this person with this chronic illness, with this fatigue, with this pain, with whatever your symptoms are, you are still moving forward and you are still creating the life that you desire. Change your perception, because you are a freaking rock star. Know it, okay? Know it. So with that, I'm just going to leave you with those 4 tips for right now. Implement them. I hope they helped. I hope this video helped you just a little bit on your journey and on your path. I would love to hear about it. I would love to talk to you about it. Send me a message. Follow me on Instagram. DM me over there at Tasia_Motley. I'm here. I'm a resource because I know the struggle. But anyway, have a great day. Have a great week. And as always, be soulfully you. Okay. Bye, guys.